All right, hello and welcome back to a festive morning in Jigao in the kingdom of Jorhas. We've just gone through an interesting evening of what was the conclusion of a great festival in this city. The city had their Festival of Merit, where individual people competed to earn badges of honor at various carnival like games. And the overall winners, the group that had collected the most of these badges, the top two groups competed in their kind of big finale. They were all sent into an underwater cave to find a token, and that token was tied on a rope to a giant shark in this underwater cave. But for some reason, when they got to the shark, it had been stabbed with a spear, and that spear was glowing with some kind of divine power. The people that had put on this contest did not do this, and so there was definitely something amiss. After defeating this divinely amped up shark, with the help, and only the help, of the opposing team, they had collected the token and won the contest, but on their way out, they found a hidden cavern, one that was giving off a very bright glow. In that cavern, they had found on a pedestal a jeweled amulet. That jeweled amulet was first touched by the leader of the opposing group, the rivals, whose name was Io. Io touched the group and immediately went into some kind of vision. There was only a little bit of mutterings heard by the group as to what took place in this vision, but nonetheless, it was definitely disturbing. Io was disturbed so much so that she relinquished this charm, this little jeweled amulet, to the winning group and said she wanted nothing to do with it. The foretelling that she had received said that she was linked to, but not the recipient of the amulet. And so when you got out of the cave, there was a kind of like a hole in the roof that you were able to climb out with ropes and other gear and assist one another. And both groups managed to get out safely and return back to the town, who celebrated your completion of their original task. But the elder, particularly Elder Ushu, was very unsure about what was going on. For starters, they've been doing this festival for years. They've done this contest many times, and this cave that you found has never been before discovered. Something awry. So that, plus he was a little triggered by the information that you gave him. It was something through his previous work as an oracle that really sparked some thoughts of something. So he went to consult some people at the temple when everyone else finished the night with merriment, and then took a sleep. And it is now early in a spring morning, where both the rivals and the main party were resting in the Unbroken Tusk Inn that resides on the back of the giant turtle. So, with kind of our little background bit, so those that are here, as you're waking up this morning, that would be Gringus, Kazrin, and Balazar, are the three that were kind of sharing the room as victors. Is there anything you would like to do as you wake up this morning?
I would have only needed the 4 hours sleep, being an elf and all.
Mm-hmm.
So my other 4 hours is kind of light duty and whatnot. But I still would have kind of not necessarily snuck out, but wanted to go out and get breakfast for my brother and Gringus.
All right. So the donut fairy leaves the homestead. goes to procure pastries and hand pies and other things that are available from the kitchen.
I, I bring back some. I wake my brother up, and Gringus like, hey, I got breakfast. I got Gringus for you. Well, first of all, I got some coffee, a little bit of whiskey, just a little bit on the side. But I got some sausage and bacon and stuff for Gringus, and Balasara. I know some plain white toast. There's bacon if you want it. It's got a whole bunch of plain white toast and some strawberries and some jam and some things for you. So and my brother, you would definitely know it's Gringus as well. Like how do I say it? I'm nicer than normal. Normally, I'm not like getting y'all breakfast in bed. Uh, I mean, I'm not. You know me long enough. I'm a little bit of an asshole. But I do nice things from time to time. But this is a little bit extra nice for me. But like here, hey guys, I got breakfast. Come on.
Oh, thank you, brother. Uh, Much appreciated. Unusual, but delicious.
I'm looking you over. I'm like,
Whiskey. Oh,
just a little bit for the coffee.
yeah, for the coffee, whiskey.
Gringus, as being his usually gruff self, is obviously happy to have food, but is at all efforts attempting to keep all emotion kind of internal.
I'm looking everybody over too. Like they took a lot of damage, so I'm just like, yo, okay? You're feeling okay? Feeling all right today?
Yeah, I'm pretty fine. Yeah. A little sore, but good old dragon skin and all. I'm fine.
Took some big bites last night. Like literally big bites from the fucking shark. Huge fucking shark. As I drink some coffee with bourbon.
Gringus is basically just saying, that right as rain, effectively. The scared to the brink of death and beaten nearly to the same extent. But today's a new day. Today we are fine. Today we are alive. Confused as hell, but alive.
Yeah, you just see Kazan being he feels a little bad. I had a great little Kazan plan, and I think it was a really good plan. But man, I think it might have been a bad plan, despite being a smart plan. So I just just make sure everybody feels okay. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about today? Well, you got a brother.
Right about this time, you all hear a rather rapid knock at the door.
Boy, what? We just woke up.
No, just eat your food. I'll go check on the door.
Travelers?
Yeah. What do we have?
So standing kind of at the door, you open the door. You see standing at the door himself is Elder Ushru. He's starting just spitting out the phrase. I was wondering if you would have a morning meal with, and then you see everyone just stuffing their face. Oh, I see. So the day comes early for you. Well, I have much to discuss. Some very unsettling things. I went to visit the temple to meditate. We read some information, and then I went to sleep. And in that sleep, you can kind of hear his like... He's been a fairly jovial person, generally speaking, even when he says rather mundane things. Tends to be boisterous and hearty and laughing about it. But at this moment, he kind of takes a very serious tone. A vision came to me last night. A golden amulet rose to the surface of a pool of blood and countless hands lunged upward out of the blood to grasp it. In turn, all the hands fell back into the pool until only one remained. The one whose hand claimed the amulet was a handsome man, with curly hair and a somber expression. He turned to me and said, "They must find me, the ones from the grotto." Tell me, did anything happen to you in that place that would help me understand this vision?
Well, we were under the water. I'm eating a little bit of the dry white toast.
Yeah, anything, like, I know that you had found this, and it's very unsettling in the description of what was going, of where you found it. A place that we had never seen before, and oddly enough, some of my scribes went to go check on that particular place, which does not exist today, for one reason or another. Did anything happen in there? Is there something that might help me piece this vision?
You still eating my dry white toast, aka pretzels. You may want to talk to the other group. They're the one who grabbed the item, and there was some kind of vision that they had. It seemed. See, my notes are totally gone from the last time. So, but the person who grabbed it saw something. We just saw the light. One of our group, and then we went down there.
And yet you are the ones that are in possession of the amulet now, right?
Oh, you're gonna have to remind me about last session.
Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, Ao handed it over to you after she had her vision and was like, it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for you.
Oh, the big amulet we found in that room? We got it?
Yes.
Oh shit. I've forgotten that.
Narrative sprung.
Who has that? I don't know who has that amulet. She may have given it to me. If I do, I pull it out. This amulet.
I actually do not know who has it. Let's see.
Somebody's sitting on it. It's like stuck to their butt. That's a holy relic. What are you doing?
I mean, we kind of showed up in a shitty condition and then went straight to drinking and then passing out while bleeding out. So
Yeah, we had 2 people almost die last time. That's why Kaiserin is I put away my chip. Sorry if I heard a lot of rattling on my Discord.
Let me check actually to see.
I thought we gave it all to the other party. That was
I thought we said no. You keep it, your share. You know, we were trying to be fair.
Well, we were trying not to die.
Tried to lie to our yeah.
They was a big ass group, and we were trying
significantly weaker than they were. Yeah.
This is. I'll explain a little bit. This is why Kazrin is buying everyone breakfast, because he had this really cool plan that would have got everybody dead, but the plan was actually really good. It's despite all of his friends dying. So I didn't think we had it. So I'm sorry about that. It has been like a good month and a half. It's been a bit since we, probably a month.
And put it in.
I'll look in my inventory.
Yeah, it's in Kazrin's inventory. Golden amulet.
Yeah, so I'll pull out. Okay, let me look at this. Lapis lazuli stones, and it appears that it can be rearranged, though you can see no obvious way how. And that was okay. Sorry about this. This was the amulet that gave that one person the vision. Al, I think.
Yes. Yep. The
Yeah,
water genie, the water genasi.
Yeah, the hot one, right?
I mean, maybe that's per matter of perspective.
Well, the one that was in the first, not the underwater battle, but the first session that we did
Yeah, the one you competed against in the swimming competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had plans to flirt with her. Yeah, we have. I forgot they gave it to us. We have the golden amulet here. This is what gave the Genasi a vision. So I kind of pull it out. I'm pretty forthcoming at this point. Kind of uncharacteristically Ryzen or Kazran. He still feeling a little bad about his plan that would have maybe got his friends killed.
So you guys are all talking to the elder who's sitting here in the hallway. And then right about this time, one of the doors just slightly across the hall and slightly down, kind of slams open, and then you hear, "What in the fucking hell?" As you see Io stumble out into the hallway with her head against both temples, rubbing them very hardly. What is this racket so early in the morning?
I don't know. I just woke up to breakfast.
Whiskey's really good, right?
Oh, hair of the dog.
Yeah. Coffee's good.
Yeah, I'll bring him a coffee with a little bit of whiskey in it to Io.
She just kind of slaps the coffee away and grabs the whiskey and just takes a big gulping drink.
Oh yeah, I knew I liked her.
I'll never get those images out of my head. Could try to drink them away, but here they are.
So I just kind of mentioned to the elders, like, well, she's the one who saw everything, so.
I have belief that what you encountered is remnants from the calamity over 1,000 years ago.
So this amulet's over 1,000 years old.
This area used to be lush and prosperous in the age of Arcanum. Jorhas, particularly the barbed fields east of here, has been ravaged ever since the falling of that age. When the betrayer gods returned to Earth, they smote this area in vengeance against those that had imprisoned them. I believe, based on these ancient texts, that what you have might be a vestige of divergence. An artifact of extreme power. It seems to be in some sort of dormant state, as I do not really get much from arcane sense or divine sense in its presence. But something is definitely here.
Do I know anything about Yumi? About the Arcana?
Generally speaking, there's tales of the time long ago of cities that flew around the world themselves, of magic beyond understanding, of machines and tools that powered themselves, for both, for all stages of life, from both work to being ferried around to you name it. The magic ruled every facet of life, and that entire civilization came crashing down during the calamity when the betrayer gods returned. And it is used now mostly as a fable of, how personal greed and how digging for more power and all these things, and it's kind of the fable that pushes people away from such progressions. But as far as details go, it was so long ago that it's treated. It is kind of a known piece of history, but it is really more ingratiated to now who knows what is real and what is story, and as far as any of that is concerned.
Kind of give Kavrin and Gringus a kind of the look, cause like I don't know about all this shit, but there might be some money in it. So
Well, the only reason we're out here doing this shit is for money. So, maybe some glory. But money.
So we all have Mr. Elder Ushu's we have his attention. It's like, what can so like maybe some jobs you have for us? What can you help here?
Well, to be honest, I have no personal investment in this thing, but I can tell you that there is a place where things like this are studied, where things like this are still dug up, as it is the site said to be the center point of the calamity itself, where remnants are still found in the depths of temples and tombs. Bazzoxan, that's the place.
Checks map.
I see Bazzoxan on the map.
You're not even here yet.
Well, I'm checking it anyway.
You're not even listening to this conversation.
Metagaming!
What's up? What's that voice? Oh no!
Bazzoxan is known to all inhabitants of Xhorhas. It is quite famous for being a place that you don't really go. But it's a very grim town that is almost entirely nothing but a military outpost now, as things in that area, in the barbed fields itself, are very dangerous. And so the military there is still to this day constantly keeping things from another world at bay. There's said to be a gate in the great temple that is there in Bazzoxan that things tend to come to this world, this plane of existence, through. And there's plenty of very warped things in the barbed fields that might reinforce this line of thinking is actually true. And so it's a place that people don't often go without escort or without actually being a part of the military, or willing to or able to fight something on an actually very dangerous scale.
I just got back. Sounds like we're ready for. I kind of look back at at the group again, and if we're going for adventure, we're going for Baxozan. It's like that other group there, thinking about I don't have any of the names anymore. Ao was one of them. Ao.
Mm-hmm. And Maggie, and there's a handful.
They had such a large group. They're like twice as big as we were. Like, maybe we need to, recruit a little bit. before we head out?
I mean, that might not be a problem. A few more things for a shark to sink its teeth in besides me might be a good idea.
Yeah, and Kazrin feeling a little guilty about that again.
What?
I'm like, yeah, trying to get my friends killed here.
I mean, there was an event going on recently. Maybe there's a bunch of random people we could pick up and throw on our, in our group here.
Ushru sit there and kind of thinks a minute. The things that I saw in my vision were quite disturbing. If any, even a small piece of them, are truths or foretellings, this mystery needs solved, not just for money, but yours and everyone else's very lives may be at stake. Who knows? Maybe it could be another mild inconvenience. But even that is worth money to somebody.
Might be worth money to us.
I will say that people, they don't just stumble upon vestiges, not without reason. There's no place in Jorhas where the memory of the calamity lingers more than in Baz's End. If you want to make the trek, it's still dangerous. You're probably right. There are some adventurers in town. There's a couple I might even trust. Let me go get them. I'll introduce you.
Sounds like a plan. I'd start a plan.
Somewhere off in the distance, it's a lizard folk man in the lotus position, eyes closed, listening carefully.
Yeah, as I say, it won't be just a couple of minutes after Ushru leaves that he seeks out Thena and Brutus to explain all the things that you effectively just heard, and to see if you're up to the task to join them on their escapade to Bazazan.
What was Ale doing? Did Ale just get her bourbon and go back to her room?
Yes,
And like, fuck.
yes, she did.
Okay.
Without a doubt, fate has called me.
I'm glad to hear it. If you're up for the challenge, I will introduce you.
Let us go then.
Kind of looks over to Thena. And you? Are you intrigued?
Yeah, this seems interesting. Better than catching more smelly barbarians who pickpocketed the wrong person.
Well, I couldn't want for that either. But where there are things of interest, there's always money to be made, and just actions to be taken. Perhaps you could put your skill set to use in a way that is a little more, or rather, should I say, a little less demeaning.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, right this way. And then Ushru is going to lead you down the hallway at the inn to the chamber that is held by the three other party members.
Okay, so Balasar, I mean, I'm just saying, I know I told you I put the item in your backpack and I lied to you, and I'm just saying I'm sorry about that. It was part of the master plan, but you know,
I'm already over it. Why bring it up?
you just that dry white toast.
You're my
win you over
brother.
every
I
time.
mean, yeah, you brought me breakfast and whiskey in the morning. Like,
Dry white toast and whiskey. Gotcha.
there's strawberries.
Indeed. Is that so?
Better than the rations we're going to be eating on the road.
Ain't that the truth? Fucking those military rations were the worst.
So,
let's go.
right at
You
this
should
time, Ushru will kind of show back up to your room and introduce. He's like, I have these two that I've known for a bit.
And I step forward and say, Barnard Evictus. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I say, this is the room you guys have been staying in? Have a care.
We do care
Crunch.
about our coin.
The champions offered a room and they took this pig sty for their own.
It's not a bad room. I didn't think it was a bad
I
room.
think it's pretty good. Everything's within reach. The door's right there. I can chop your head off when you come through unwarranted.
One moment, Dungeon Master. I have a question about the spell message.
Okay. Message.
It does say it has a VSM, so somatic. Fuck, I forgot what the M is. What was somatic?
Material.
Material. Oh yeah, material. Obviously, when I've seen this on popular Critical Role, they cast message without any. Like the person casting it, they never address what he's doing. Can I cast a spell without? Can I cast message without anyone knowing I'm casting it, or is this pretty obvious that I'm casting it?
Okay, so I'll put it this way: if someone is trained in the arcane, they would recognize that, just like you could recognize or identify the casting of any spell. The verbal somatic components does not mean that you're like talking to a loudspeaker that somehow magically then goes to somewhere else.
We do a little, metagaming. I remember our first sessions when I first played, and it was some other people, but there was a whole lot of pickpocketing and various things, and we did things without other people knowing. But I'm going to do this, and you guys will know what I'm saying. Like Zeb and Rivka will know, but your characters won't necessarily know. So I cast a message spell to Wolfen's character, Balasar. I'm like, dude, what is up with that Dragonborn? And I'm pointing at Zebulus. It's like, dude, he needs a sandwich or something. Dude, you should give him a protein shake or something.
That's a smaller lizard. He's more of a lizard than me.
Well,
His
I thought
descendants
that
come from the swamp and mine come from the sky.
this is what you look like when I first met you. Like, you should give him some protein or something.
Sorry, I was just born this large. Just, big, tough, and dumb, I don't even have a tail, though. Kind of jealous.
There's this uncomfortable pause as Brutus has introduced himself as Barnard Evictus, and pleased to make your acquaintance. And then there's like long silence, just looking at the room.
Definitely.
Athena disdainfully picks up the remnants of the coffee and downs it in one gulp.
There was a bit of whiskey in that.
Yeah. Flash coffee.
It was unexpected, but well tempered on the drinking. So Usher's gonna, as the introductions are made, he's going to say, "I've known these two for a while. They're both capable, surprisingly so, and trustworthy. They've agreed to come on. They're aware of the circumstances surrounding this trip and the dangers that lie ahead.
Fate has brought us here."
I'm sorry.
Hopefully it will be worth my while.
Ooh, okay. Well, I am Catherine. I wanted to say something a little out of character at first. This is Carcota. I'm very excited for you guys to join our little D&D group here. Catherine's a little bit of a jerk. I don't think I am. Maybe I am. I don't know. Catherine's a little bit of a jerk. But I'm excited to have you guys with us. So, getting back into the game, this is my brother here, Balasar, And this is Gringus, who seems to be a little bit get out of bed this morning. He's kind of been crashing in. Uh,
You guys certainly don't look related.
we are family by circumstance. We have been together since we were wee little children.
I see.
But he's been by my side for many years, and we're in the military a little bit. That's where we met Gringus here.
Yeah. Just a Gringus. Just like, yeah. That's it. That's all he's got.
Definitely a Gringus reply. So yeah, we military didn't pay so much. We figured going out our own would pay a whole lot more. So here we are. We did some competitions of skill. We happened to win because we're pretty awesome. And and now here we are. We stumbled across this oh crap, what did he call it? Draticus.
The vestige of divergence.
Vestige, yes. We happened to across this vestige. The one of my notes, Ushu seemed to think that maybe the vestige chose us, just fine.
Right about this time, Io crashes back into the hallway with her hand still firmly pressed on either temple, like eyes just squinted, barely open. Like that's why she's basically running into everything. Fucking hell, who are these people now? Trying to sleep.
Do we have any more bourbon?
My apologies, madam.
So let me get this straight. You lot, with you new lot, are gonna run off to get yourselves killed on the way to Bazazan, right? I mean, that's what I heard through the walls, at least.
I mean, there's a chance.
I think we'll make it to Bazazan before we die.
Lunchtime. If you're still around, maybe we'll go with you. If you're gone by then, great. Maybe we'll come anyway. But until then, for the love of all the whiskey in the world, shut up. She goes back into her room, slams the door.
Man, I like her so much.
I think that's an open invitation to go get more food.
Yeah, we can get more food. I'm buying. I'm still feeling a little guilty that my plan might got you killed.
I want a whole chicken.
Whole chickens.
4 whole chickens and a Diet Coke.
Alisar's hungry. He's big boy.
To go with the dry white toast. I mean, we can go full Blues Brothers order on this. I guess if we need to.
I take us. Yeah, I'll take us all to out to lunch, and you'll have to give me in a second, like how much I need to spend on.
Do they have a liter cola?
Yeah.
As champions of the Festival of Merit, they won't actually charge you today. But you don't have to tell them that.
I take them to lunch, and then this is me again. I gotta buy out real quick. Drink a little bourbon. I'll be right back in 10 seconds.
All right, so we've all considered the mission ahead of us. Is there any particular preparations that you might like to make, or things you'd like to accomplish in town while we, prepare for lunch and then our eventual departure thereafter?
I think Kazrin and Balazar need a shower. Before we depart.
Might wake them up a bit.
I also don't want to be smelling the likes of them for the next 3 weeks on the trail.
Oh, you can smell us develop and ripen as we get on the trail.
Better to start the journey without the stench.
I don't know why you assume we smell. We're well-groomed individuals, actually.
Because this is your pigsty of a room.
We
I'm
pick
back.
it.
This is the room they gave us for being champions of the.
That's just the room they gave us when we were bleeding to death.
Yeah, we were. They. I say we. They
There's probably like
had a
gauze
lot of-
all over the room. Freaking a half
Blood puddles.
a surgical kit
definitely
containing
that.
a hammer and a screwdriver. You know, just random. You know.
Kazran feeling really bad about how much damage they took because
Sweat stained sheets.
No, I'm a lizard. No sweat.
Puke from too much booze.
But also,
that
There
was my
is a
bad. That
lot
was
of
my
that.
bad.
there's an assumption of me puking.
They just passed right out because of the wounds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as we prepare our last bit of things that we'd like to do before we leave today, we just to kind of get some general idea. There's the pathway south. That you can't really take a direct route because of some very unscalable mountains that is kind of in the direct route. But there is a generally well-patrolled path south called the Emerald Loop, which meets an eastern-western road called the Hallowed Path. You can kind of see that on the map. The paths outside of the barbed fields are relatively safe. There are, generally speaking, they're constantly patrolled by the Aurora Watch, which is the Kryn Dynasty's military. Once you move into the barbed fields, they still patrol regularly, but even between patrols, it is still known to be pretty dangerous. The trip itself, generally speaking, takes, I don't know, 14-ish days, something along those lines, depending on the general pace as well as anything that might hinder your ability to proceed. The town is willing to affront the cost of quite a bit of general goods for such a trip. Usher has instructed some of the people to assist you with that, so if you need any basic rations, water skins, rope, any kind of general store type items, you can pretty much feel free to things like healing potions. That's not on the table, but any kind of small scale general goods items they can pretty much offer up freely.
Grab like kindling pouch and stuff. Stuff for the trip.
Is there a place to get rations along the way, or do we
Hardtack.
need to get 14 days of rations or more? Or maybe 28 days, or we don't know. Is there any place that we would stop along the way before we get to Bazazan?
There is
Kill things.
At the kind of intersection of the Emerald Loop and the Hallowed Path is known to be a traveling caravan that kind of moves back and forth a little bit in that area, depending on how dangerous things are, whether they need to move a little bit to set up or the like. But generally, they're all in somewhere near that intersection of those two major roads is where they set up. And then just like this city utilizes some giant turtles, and I mean giant as in the actual the game mechanics sense. Turtles that are hundreds of feet in diameter across their shells. In fact, the inn you're staying in is built on the back of one giant turtle. And this that's one way that this caravan is able to stay mobile, is it utilizes at least one of these giant turtles to house some of its more permanent structures as it moves around.
How many miles is it to Bazozan? You said 14 days. I'm just wondering, are we aiming for how many miles per day, roughly? Or rather,
Hours.
how how many miles is each square?
Probably be going 12 hours a day. So.
That's a good question. And I don't know offhand. I don't know what the scale is on this particular... what this particular map is. It's like a normal pace, I think, per day is about 25 miles. So if we kind of extrapolate that, 12 to 15 days, so...
It's like 16 squares or so along that path.
300 to 400-ish miles, 350-ish miles. I think travel through the barb fields is usually a little slower, so it's probably modulated in a little slightly weird way because of that. So it's probably what is it? Each square would be about 20 miles likely. Almost, yeah, basically each square is about a day's travel, roughly 25 miles. That's what it seems like, just kind of looking at it here.
I'll secure another additional 10 days of rations, but rations comprise of more like dried meats, dried fish. So just some hardtack. You mind if I grab some of this meat and fishes?
For the champions, and at the behest of the elders, take as you need.
Well, thank you for the village. To the village. Sure. Oh, why am I dragging it over? I need to take that. Actually, I can't change the value of it.
I should be able to.
If I add item, can I? Yes.
No, I think if you
No,
just click
no,
on the
I
box
can't.
and just start typing, it'll do it.
Let's try. Oh, it just doesn't give me an icon. Okay.
Yeah, there's no blinking cursor.
Alright, look at that. I got some more rations.
Rations are kind of heavy, but I don't think we're at the at much risk having 10 or 15 days of rations.
Seems like dried meats and fish and stuff. So ration, I can't really do. That's not an item.
Not from a weight perspective, especially if you have. Across you, yeah. I don't think that would be a problem if you had at least that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things like weapons and armor, they're not gonna hand any of that over
Yeah.
freely or anything like that. But if you think of anything particularly that you'd like, and if we missed it, we can kind of retcon that a little bit, especially down the road. But we want to be, we're gonna be like, get there, do something. It's like, man, if I only had a 10-foot pole. Oh yeah, back in the town, I bought this 10-foot pole. Yeah, probably not. Right? Yeah, like there's some.
Do we have a map?
Reasonable. Yeah, I would say that we have maps of the world are common enough, but not like there's mass printing, at the same time, right? So maybe that there is one map for your group.
Good.
One physical map.
Well, I think the first thing we need to decide is, do we wait for the others for lunch or do we get on our way?
I'm hungry now. They're a strong group. They can catch up. They'll probably catch up.
I'm in complete agreement.
Oh,
Might as well get as many miles as we can on the road.
Do we have a
before the
cooking
sun
set?
goes down.
Does anyone have cooking stuff? Do we have a pot?
I have a
Brandish
tinder box.
my little mess kit.
cook's utensils. Does Gringus have some? I think he might.
I edited the rations, like how many days, and changed the weight.
You changed
Oh
the
no, you
weight.
don't change the weight. You don't change the weight.
No?
Yeah, the
Okay.
weight
The weight
is
changes
the
stuff.
per item weight, I believe.
Yeah.
And
So rations is 2.
Right, but if you have 10 rations, wouldn't that
But
be
it
10
calculates
per?
it.
No, it didn't. It didn't change
It
it.
does at the bottom of your.
it's still
Inventory.
at the very bottom right. There's an encumbrance that says, "Here's your current weight."
Oh. I
Yep.
see.
Yeah, I think it's 2 per ration, and then so if you have 10 of them, it adds 20 to that. I think that's how it's set up.
Delicious.
Didn't change. Oh, it did change. Okay.
Probably dried fruit, like the fruit cake that gets passed around at the holidays,
So my current is 66.
and then I just hand it over, and it'll tell you what your maximum is on the left over there. Now,
120.
I will say that I don't usually scrutinize like super much on that. Only when we get into some like situations like
I'm taking a box of swords.
yeah, or yeah, like or
I've
I
done
want to
that.
take this whole 10 racks of plate mail. Like okay, hold up, let's think about that a second. Or we in one of our other campaigns we had come across like literally a dragon's horde, and I told them they could have whatever they could carry. And so they just took sacks of literal gold, and we, figured out how much that weighed, and figured out what they could take, and they had to leave so much copper behind, and they were sad about it. But
I'm gonna buy a tent because I don't think that's within the free category.
tent? How much is a tent?
2 gold.
How much? You said 3?
2.
2. Yeah, grab 1 tent. You can have 8 tent.
Is my
Yay.
size, does that change? Like I typed in size manually and height and weight and stuff. Does that change my weight carrying capacity?
Nope.
No, it's your strength, I think.
Okay. Strength.
No,
Right.
only it's only modulated by strength, except if you're larger than medium. I believe there is some.
If you're a big boy.
Yeah, you have to be larger than a medium-sized creature, which is rare. There's a couple of races that have a special feature as a part of their race that says you can carry as though you're one size category larger. Most all playable races are medium, so that they don't, get into some weird stuff that's hard to deal with.
Gotcha.
I can carry a lot.
Yes, you can.
I'm like teaching the townsfolk children a kata or something.
I'm just trying to think of stuff because we never really actually go through and look at stuff we could use for our adventure. Really bad at just like doing stuff.
Yeah, Gringus has cook's utensils, so he does.
He
have
does? Okay,
does
so that helps.
I've got 10 torches on me.
Yeah.
They only last. Is it like an hour per torch?
Doesn't Gringus have a messed up? Does he have a real shield now or a fucked up shield?
I actually added an inventory item. How do I get rid of it?
I believe it's a right-click operation.
How much do tents weigh? I want to buy my own tent.
20 pounds. They're heavy.
Yeah, I would imagine that it would be not like your
She's buying her own tent.
carbon fiber pop up tent or whatever that they have.
20?
Yeah.
You said 20?
20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Alright.
Is your character gonna cart a tent on their dainty figure
Yes.
across the wilderness?
Because I'm not sleeping with you.
You don't need to sleep in a tent. Actually, I've never been on an adventure with a tent. Actually,
A new realm of luxury that you're unaccustomed to.
I'm a soldier. I should have a tent. Or-
Although, tents are visible.
I will also acquire a cloak.
With epaulets? Please tell me.
No, just standard like gray cloak. Come on, still a soldier. I don't need pizzazz. I just
Actually,
need to
it's
look
true.
like a
I don't need a tent. I can sleep in the trees.
See, there you go.
Or on your bedroll. Most people should have a.
Yeah, everyone should have a bedroll. Right, we should.
If you don't, I don't know. You might consider that.
I don't have a bedroll.
It came with the pack, right?
Not all packs.
Oh. Sticks of dynamite. Yeah, we're going fishing.
Can I buy a hammock
Yes.
to put in the trees?
Hammocks actually.
How much does it weigh?
You just might have to type it in.
We might have to make a custom item for that. Probably a third of a tent. What was it like? So maybe
Yeah.
6 pounds. We'll call it 6 pounds.
Okay.
All right. And so we can continue the shopping. We can do some of it a little bit offline or whatever if we need to think about what we need for the inventory. Since we just started later level and we didn't start with any extra money, I wanted to give the opportunity so that we could acquire things that would be natural for us to have acquired after as much adventuring as it takes to get to level 4. And so we can, like I said, we can do that later. But to been out of shape about that. And so, but we did want to leave town. Was that the consensus that we were going to head out
Yes.
relatively quickly? Okay.
After eating.
All right then. So let us make way then. I say that, but perhaps.
A band of adventurers set out. Athena, do you think we'll be able to help these fellows?
Honestly, I'm not even sure. Not sure if my help would be enough for them.
I'm guessing we don't have mounts or anything, so we're just walking. It doesn't seem like my fellow guy would use a mount anyway.
That is correct. Yeah, we are moving
Uh-oh.
unmounted.
Windy.
A lot of the town a lot of the landscape south of the town, even though not into the barbed fields, which is named, not ironically, as is literally large jutting rocks that look barbed, that are spread across the entirety of the area. Even still, outside of the barbed fields, is still might be considered somewhat wasteland, a little bit like across, not quite full desert. There's a little scrub brush and some light vegetation, so it's not full like desert with cactus, that kind of thing. But it is very, very sparsely populated with vegetation and animals. There is the occasional tree. There is, like I said, some brush, some weeds, and that kind of thing. But it's not like walking along the plains or anything like that. It's definitely patchy at best where these things are. And so as you strike south outward, following the Emerald Loop towards the eventual Bazzoxan destination, you hear, the winds whip through this area without all the trees, or even at this place, mountains or anything to cut the wind. It does, pick up dust flies. Generally, there's not as much visibility because of that. It kind of goes in and out. It's not like fog or like sandstorm all the time or that kind of thing, but it always by the horizon. There's still some level of obscurity in the far distance as you begin, and you can feel that it's hot. It's not something. I mean, it's something you're all used to, but it is. It almost, to an extent, feels unnaturally warm in this area. You traverse south, headed through, your first day of travel. Is there anything? So we will expedite a little bit. I will kind of bring up of some things of interest that you run across along the way as we begin to journey. If there's anything particular you would like to do or talk about or anything like that on our trip, just interrupt or just interject anything that you would like to say or do as we kind of move forward.
Traveling.
Yeah.
So Bruce.
It's a
Bruce.
montage.
Bruce.
Yes.
Can I touch your skin?
What?
I've never. I just wonder what. Like, look at my scales. They're completely different than yours.
Of course, and I offer him my arm.
I'm like, oh, they're much softer. Like, look, I pull out a pocket knife. I just like cut myself. Oh, see, they didn't hurt me. Like, look. Look, I'm not gonna cut you because that'd be mean, I'm like, yeah, you don't see very many of your kind, where I'm from. So not very many.
So your character is
people.
a dragon-ish thing, dragonkin.
I am a hybrid of dragonkind.
And how tall are you, for example?
How tall am I? I'm like 6'2", and normalish.
Do you have like
for,
wings
like,
or
a medieval
something?
period. Nope. So I lack a tail like most dragonborn. Unlike most dragonborn have a tail, but my race of dragonborn does not.
So we begin chatting, and I tell you that,
Yeah.
and my acquaintances call me Brutus because the pompous name I was given is too formal.
Yeah, you don't look too much like a Brutus, I'd be like, Steve. I look like a Brutus. I'm like, flexing.
Are you guys
250
done
pounds.
comparing sizes yet?
I'm talking to my cold-blooded brethren here. All right.
Is it
Gringus gotta stay together.
I think said a total of maybe 4 words in the entire day's travel, including the that you got out of him at breakfast, or when you encountered him at their breakfast.
Don't mind the grumpy old man. literally just a grumpy old man.
What's his race, Gringus?
He's a dark dwarf.
A dwarf. Okay, okay, okay.
Durgar, yeah.
That-
Druger or whatever.
Yeah.
And Andy was an armorer for the military, so you can already kind of get a sense of his personality. Grumpy, kind of finicky, you know.
Like,
Quiet.
he just listens in as you guys are talking about, you know, your
Yeah,
names and
probably
how
remind us
big you
we were
are
idiots.
and all this stuff. And he just hefts his, you know, spear over his
Fucking
shoulder
moron.
and just shakes his head as he just walks past you as it speeds up.
Yeah.
Even though
my
I'm
bro-
even though
my
I'm
brother-
chatting with Balzar, I try to keep keen lookout as we're going.
Okay.
Chit chat. Yeah. My brother Cosrin here. He wanted me to be a. He was hoping for a bugbear when he got adopted. He wanted like a fur covered thing. But I got a step parent for bugbears. Wait. Yeah.
Out of character, what class is your guy? Balzar?
I'm a fighter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, excellent.
This is very interesting. He's a special class of fighter. One of the new subclasses is called an Echo Knight. And so it's like
A phase walker. kind
Johnny
of.
Cage's shadow kick or whatever, you know, like where like he's here and there at the same time. So he uses his echo to do abilities and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like a time kind of magic, you know. Back time.
And so as we move south, that first day's travel goes by uneventful. This is not expected to be, especially this close to the city, to be anything. You do notice every few hours this close to the city, a patrol is coming in past you as you walk south. They're coming in. This area is pretty heavily patrolled. Towards the end of the day's first travel, you get upon a place that is kind of designated, like this is a well-traveled spot. There are these like places that are set up for camps, usually about a day apart, and you kind of run into that kind of the first of these. The winds really start to pick up as evening sets in, and they're searingly hot, like almost unnaturally so, even for this area as they come in. So you look for that place that is set up as the camp as it comes to close. You set up your watch rotation and get ready for the evening. Still considered relatively safe. You progress through the night. No troubles befall you in this first night's rest. You pick up the next morning, but these winds have not died down. You travel the second day as you carry forward, and then along the way, let us see here. There is something that catches your attention. Make sure I have it here without... Alright, so let's go ahead and do some skills checks. Let's do perceptions across the group to see how far away you are before you notice this thing in the late afternoon. Okay, Balazar is really
What do I do to roll perception?
Okay,
Is it the
so-
red button thing?
So in your skills list, you can, let me see what it looks like exactly so I don't say the wrong thing.
You're correct.
It
I think I
is
found it.
the-
I think I
the-
found
where the plus is, like this deal D20 and then a plus.
I did
number.
well. Yes.
I did normal.
You did normal. I rolled a 1. He doesn't see shit.
He's too busy doing his Arnold impersonations or something in the background.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so overall, I would consider 2 successes and 2 failures for this particular skill check. So that was enough to have a reasonable distance that you can see kind of something happening. The first thing that catches your eye is the glint of metal moving rapidly and about off on the distance that's reflected off. You see sun reflections off of this metal. And as you get a little bit closer, you start to hear actual some shouts and some clinging of metal.
I go into I speed up my pace. Let's investigate.
I tell the others to pay attention.
What's going on? Ooh, butterfly. What?
There's something coming or something ahead. We need to be on watch. Be prepared for anything.
And heft bread axe. Press sword, whatever.
Yeah, Drat. I speed up my pace to try to get a better look at it. At the same time, being aware of my position to make myself less obvious. I'm not like stealthy, but
You are particularly faster than everyone else when you want to be, especially when you want to be. And so you begin your scurrying ahead, moving forward ahead, and you start outpacing the rest of the group as you try to get closer and closer to see kind of what is happening. You did well enough on your on your perception checks that you actually have a good bit. So you were able to sense this thing. Could be like maybe almost half a mile away when you first spot it.
But I mean, did I get the impression that there's like a battle going on there, or that there's something coming this way with the glinting of metal, and then it's kind of
sounded like it seems something more like something fighting than it is like a column of people marching at you or whatever. Like you've seen the patrols come your way multiple times, and they're very structured, they're very rigid, and when they move and they march in order. This is not that. This is things moving all over the place, as though some kind of scuttling is happening as a part of that.
Along the road, how much is it? Are we relatively treed you walking through, or is it like open plains kind of? Make sure have a full or heavy brush. Goodness.
I need help. Tink, tink, tink.
Red.
Okay, so sorry, I was turning the sounds on. It is sparse, and so again, it is more of that. It is going to be for at least till you get into the barbed fields, mostly flat, and then mostly wasteland with sparse vegetation. A couple of trees, but they're far and few. Like they're pretty far apart.
Okay.
So there's very like there might be a tree every quarter mile or a couple of trees every quarter of a mile. It is sparse.
Okay.
So you would be the first to see this, Brutus, as you traverse south. You can see Aurora Watch members fighting a large beast. So let me pull up a couple of things for fun here. So, surprise, surprise, generic grassland map. Because that's what I got right here. So I just shared the map.
It's all black for us, but
Yeah, give me just a moment and I'll fix that.
Athena's hiding behind a tree to pee. Behind a cactus. Behind a shrub.
So in this, we're traveling south, but I've got these. The map is rotated 180 degrees because that's just how it's all automatically placed on here. So just note that as we move north up on the map, that's technically moving south. Just
Gotcha.
Let me get everybody on here though, and then you might be able to see it.
The H's stand for...
Okay. Sorry.
Come on.
Yes.
If you
So
hover
as
over
what
it.
you see is as you get much closer. Actually move you forward because you were outpacing the rest of the group by a little bit. As you get closer and closer, you see 6 Aurora Watch veterans that are surrounding a large beast. Let me see if you actually know what that beast is.
I have Arcana. This guy. Frog-like fiend.
So, everyone on your skills, let's see. First, roll me a history. And then depending on whether that succeeds or not, will be whether or not you actually get to roll to identify it. So, history we will do.
I made it.
Okay, that was deception, not history. So, let's see.
Riv is still AFK.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
That's why it's taken her a long time to roll.
Either way, it's for sure that you're going to get to... Brutus gets a natural 20. So that means that without even knowing... without having to go further into another check, then I'll go ahead and give it to you that you have seen one of these before. This is a Hezru, which is a foot soldier in the demonic hordes of the Abyss. They're known to be physically powerful, as you can kind of see from the picture, but they are also known to be somewhat weak-minded. They have, their frog-like shape also is accompanied by a known odor, stench that emanates from them. That's more than just stink itself. It has particularly potent qualities that can sicken even the toughest of warriors. Okay, and I believe that we are sufficiently close in understanding and to the combat taking place that we can all roll initiative. So
How do we do that?
That's on your main tab of your character sheet, the init right next to AC. Oh, yes, and I need to do one for Gringus. I was like, oh, there's one that's not happening. It's like, oh yeah, because that person doesn't actually exist. Not today.
Gringus doesn't exist? Oh!
And his turret X on his turret.
Yep.
I'll just leave it out of the order and let it figure that out later. As you approach, one of the veterans harks your approach and calls out to you, "Aid us in the felling of this beast. We might have it on our own, but more is always better. Your assistance will be commended. Join us."
Salute.
And with that, Kazran, you are up first.
Is Kazran AFK?
He rolled, but I haven't heard him in a second, so I don't know if he accidentally muted himself.
Hmm.
Oh, yep, 1 sec.
If you thought those guys stink, babe, wait till you smell this guy.
You can almost see the vapors like
Yeah,
hot air over asphalt
believe
emanating
me,
off of him.
there's a quote, "Believe me when I say that the thick, almost tangible smell of rotting offal seems more akin to a field of spring flowers when compared to the watery flatulence and revolting dermal discharges of the Hezru."
I like that.
Yeah.
I cannot hear you, Car. Yeah. Did you hit a mute button physically on a microphone or something? That is. Is it a run as administrator kind of problem? Like if you have Discord as your in focus, so to speak, will it let you talk in? It's always fun. Always something.
8 feet tall, 750 pounds.
He's a chunky boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, pick on someone your own size, you smelly pile of filth. And I point at Balazar.
He outweighed by 100 pounds and like 2 feet. Doesn't mean I can kill him.
Yeah, it's weird, Car. I don't know what happened. Go ahead and make your
Plug it back in.
transaction if you would, and then we'll try to figure it out after.
At this point, Drad, as far as I can tell, the party I don't know how long the battle's been going on, but can I tell if any particular one is wounded or more than the others or anything like that?
It does, even though that you started hearing this a bit of ways, it does not appear as though any of them are currently wounded. It looks like they have harried it into, like, perhaps like surrounding and moved it more so than any actual, physical battle has taken place until kind of right as you approach is when there's actually now it's starting to swing and they've got it surrounded so it can't escape, but it's also not been close. They've just boxed it in up until now, so to speak.
So Kazran was able to move all that way in one round. That's pretty cool.
No, hold up. What did he do?
What's he doing? Earthen Grasp. What class is Kazran?
A sorcerer, I believe.
Oh, okay.
No, actually a wizard, not a
Wizard.
sorcerer. He's an actual wizard. I don't
The
know what's
whiz.
cast Earthen Grasp, and it succeeded on its saving throw. So I don't know if it has. It's probably like a half damage. Yeah, for passing saving throw. But he definitely couldn't make it that far in one turn. Yep. Okay, moved, and then cast the Earthing Grasp. Don't even know. Did your attack go through? Yes, twice. Yeah, so I have to. I think you're bugged out entirely on if you're not seeing some stuff. You might want to restart, come back, and see if Discord and Fantasy Grounds works when you come back. Yeah, I don't know what happened to. Anyway, okay, so his turn is over. Brutus would then be up next.
Okay, I don't know how to really take my turn. Do I just move my token?
Yes. Yep. So you can move.
Just drag it?
Yeah, just drag it, and then it'll ask me to approve it that it's something that you can actually do.
And my move is what, 30 or 40?
40. Yeah, you can move 40.
Which way is he facing currently?
Down and to the right, or to, like kind of just eastward here, or to the right, mostly. Although consider, I like to think of it less as directional and more fluid. Like each turn, each round is like 6 seconds of action, and so he's not standing still for that length of time so much as he is,
Sure.
Dancing about and swinging wildly and all that kind of stuff. So.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Come on,
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I'm loading back into Fantasy Grounds. I was trying to cast my Earth and Grass.
It did work.
Yeah, okay.
It did happen. So that's okay.
Sorry about that.
So I just charge in,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to get his attention, and when I get there, I don't know if I have a flying kick in my arsenal or something like that.
Yeah, you feel free to animate
Yeah.
any of that you wish.
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna kind of pole vault off of my quarterstaff and flying kick him.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
And then yeah. So now target him,
Okay.
like we talked about earlier, and
Yep.
then roll your attack, and then
This would just be a martial arts attack, right?
If you so choose. Yeah. So that would be your action to take the. So you're taking the attack action.
Can I use Flurry of Blows on my first try with a key point?
You may. So take your action first, and then.
Okay, and that's just the martial arts.
That's the trigger that lets you use the key to then determine whether your bonus action is 1 or 2 attacks that comes after.
This is it's the melee +6 button that I used to use martial arts, or whatever.
Yes. Under martial arts, yes, that.
I missed. My flying kick misses. Oh crap!
So yeah, you're you kind of you take off running and you leap across, and it's not so much that you miss, so much as
Deflected by armor.
Kind of where you hit him, but it didn't get all of the weight into it, and so he just kind of leans back a little bit, and it doesn't deflect so much as it just it's like catching an egg, right? You just kind of softens the blow, not enough to hurt him, but it did land.
Okay, and now I want to use Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, so now you use your key
spin
point.
around and sock him in the, I don't know, mid belly or whatever I reach.
trying to find the
So do I have
spot.
to? So do I have to expend key for that? So I just check off a key.
That's right. And
then I
say you're doing flurry of blows. Now hit him with the attack and see if you hit. The melee +6 again.
I'm looking. There it is.
Yep. And so you hit him, and now you can apply your damage, which is the.
Is that both of them hit?
So that each attack is taken separately. And so that's the first one. The first one hit. Now you can roll the damage for the first one, and then you can roll for the second one.
And the damage is, where do I roll the damage? Oh, I see, 1d4 bludgeoning. Okay.
Yep. 1d4 + 4 bludgeoning. So this time you did make very solid contact, but you can see that his thick hide absorbs some of the bludgeoning effect of your kick. So even though you made solid contact in a way that you know is like actually hurt him, it still seemed to do less than you expected.
I'm trying to get his attention. I got one more. So do I roll damage for the other one, or is it a separate swing? I guess a separate swing.
It's a separate swing, yes. Okay. But remember that. So you took a flurry of blows. You used your key point. So now your special ability comes in. Your open hand stuff to see. Do you want to try to knock him? Now you hit him with a flurry of blows attack. Do you want to try to knock him prone?
Yeah.
Do you want to try to do one of those things?
I want to try to knock him down. That's what the kick was for, or whatever. But yeah, let's try it.
Yeah. So now that's the save. So right above.
I see the save. There's nothing written in there, but I just hit save on martial arts, or save on
under flurry of blow, under the one that says under flurry of blows, right there.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have advantage checked, or is that him?
I didn't check advantage or anything.
Oh, it's a strength save. Never mind. Yeah. So he is extra strong, so he's difficult to affect with strength-related things.
Okay.
And so he succeeded on his saving throw, which means that he is unaffected by the effect that you're trying to use. But you have another attack, and then therefore, if that hits, maybe another chance to also knock him prone again.
Am I doing something wrong? Am I clicking it twice? Am I double clicking, or did it work out? I just don't know why it's rolling 2 die.
Because you have advantage. Why?
Okay.
Why do you have?
Is it because they're in melee too?
Because he has the prone condition on. I think we clicked the prone thing, which applied to him. In this case, you have someone directly opposite you, so you would be flanking, so you would have advantage anyway.
Okay.
But it was doing it automatically. You're supposed to have to click the advantage when you're in melee opposite someone like that.
Oh, okay.
But it did hit. So the second one also hit. So you can roll damage for the second flurry of blows attack. And then, since you hit with a flurry of blows attack, you can apply your open hand technique to see if he is continually shrugging off your attempts to push and move him physically. He is very large and beefy, and very difficult to move physically, forcefully that way. Okay, so that was your.
Thump, thump, thump.
You moved up there. You rat-a-tat-tat. Like beat on him like drums, and then so you've moved. You've used your action. You've used your bonus action. Unless there's something else, I believe that's the end of your turn. And then you, at the very bottom of the combat tracker, there's a little down arrow you can click, and it'll move on to the next person. Alright, so Gringus is going to move and then use his action to dash,
Move more.
which is to move more instead of attacking. He gets to move again. And then he's going to deploy his little turret out in front of him. The turret pulses, and then it gives people temporary hit points around it, but I don't know how far. Let me check real quick. Don't know his stuff. Within 10 feet, so you guys are just out of range, but he is not. So he will take...
Each square is what?
5 feet. 5 feet. So for this turn, while he's got the little turret out, he's got some temporary hit points when it pulses for everyone around him. Alright, one of the veteran warriors is up, and they're all surrounded, and they're just with a combination of long swords and short swords. They're just going to begin hacking at him now that they've got him boxed in. The veterans have both their longsword and short sword drawn, and so they're each going to take. They've got basically extra attacks. They get 2 longsword attacks, 1 short sword attack.
Oh, wow. Now, some of the dice are hidden. That means only the DM can see them?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
You can often see the results of what happens, but not the actual rolls. I'm just going to roll, see how many hit, and then just roll damage all together. So 1 hit, 1 miss with the longsword. And then a hit with the short sword. So they make very solid blows, but you can see right away that, just like your kicks, they do not seem to be cutting deep into its thick hide.
Got the wrong kinds of weapons for this fellow. Try your arrows, Dina. Maybe a piercing weapon.
Balazar is up next. And then another human warrior is going to go, and then Thena will go right after that.
Charge.
That would be Wolfen.
Kazran back in the game?
There he is.
I heard him a little bit ago.
I heard him in Discord, but he's not in Fantasy Grounds.
I think he. I see that he connected, but maybe he hasn't connect.
Joined.
Or like he's connected. He either hasn't joined or he hasn't picked his character yet.
Taking the dash action.
Okay.
Then I'm using my bonus action. Summon my echo.
Okay. Summon the echo. Okay. Now where are you gonna put the echo?
15 feet in front of me.
Okay. I need to remember to make you an NPC echo, just
It's
like your
with an E. Yeah.
like
A big fucking E echo.
like the turret. Yeah. So remind
Yeah.
me after this to we'll try to keep track of it. Like
You
put
just copy the
put a
turret.
circle.
Can you just right click copy Gring's turret? If not, I'll draw some.
We'll just do that for now.
Alright. And that's my turn.
Huh? Is it your turn?
She's next. So human warrior, double longsword strike. Both hit and then a short sword, and both
Critical
the
hit.
long swords are crits. Interesting. I wonder if it's gonna work.
What does a crit hit do? That double
It
damage?
doubles the dice that you roll on damage, not any static modifiers, but the dice. So it's really cool
You can
when
still roll a 1 on the additional dice. So it could be a bad crit or a good crit. Bad crit is always good.
yeah, several harsh attacks have definitely hurt the Hezru, but it doesn't. I mean, generally speaking, not knocked down by the damage it's taken thus far.
He's not halfway, that's for sure.
Athena.
Athena, you can just drag your token up until you get 30 feet. I don't know what the range on her bow is.
Short bow is 8320. So if it's under 80 feet, it's fine. If it's over 80 feet but under 320, you can hit it. You can still target it, but you roll at disadvantage. So it's within, as long as it's within 80 feet, you can roll attacks as normal.
Okay, so I
You just need to go 2 squares ahead and you can roll attacks as normal.
well
But you
if
can
I
do
go
your
up
full
30,
move. Yeah, you can go 30 and then you're gonna have
how do I make it go? Right
let
click?
go,
Pick your
let go.
character and drag it.
You drag it and then Drad approves it.
Oh, I see. Okay, I
And
gotcha.
now you use your
So,
bow to swing at him. In
s-
your
so I click the +7 on the bow, right?
Uh-huh.
bow arrow goes whizzing past.
And with the bow, you don't have extra attack yet. You don't have an offhand to attack for a bonus action. So unfortunately, that is all that your attack accomplishes this turn. Is the arrow hitting him in a bulbous area on his shoulder and just bouncing off.
Okay, turn complete then.
You hit the down arrow on the left.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Ooh, the orc warrior is up next. Okay. Oh, so, okay. So he's slightly different stats, but is the same class. can tell that these Aurora Watch guards, they all seem to be veterans, and they've seen a lot of action.
They're all higher level than us.
They're all precise and calculated in their movements from having both a lot of experience and training. But only one of these hits. In terms of game mechanics, I believe they're level 5.
Okay.
Maybe 6, but effectively level 5. Just trying to expedite all these NPCs with their actions and not narrate them all, just so that it doesn't take forever.
Clang, clang.
It is the Hezru's turn. Alright, so everyone within 10 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gets a waft of a now violently emanating amount of stench from its area. So who all is overcome by stench? Ooh, almost everyone. That's not good. One on your save there, Brutus. Not the best. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, how many succeed? Only 2.
One.
Okay.
Only
I
one
see one.
succeeds.
Human warrior.
Oh no. It's the above Bruce's roll.
Oh, yep.
There's another one.
Human
There's 2
Warrior
succeeds.
8 and Human Warrior 17. Everyone else is effectively poison.
Poison. Sorry, I'm on your side.
T1.
Which I believe the poison condition automatically gives you disadvantage on your attacks. So the stench emanates, and the Hezru roars with vigor as it is being assaulted from all angles. It's a trapped, very large beast in a small cage, and it starts swinging its claws around it violently, and it also begins to gnash its teeth. It will take a bite attack against. Okay, so let's see. As you are the only player in range, I would like you to roll me a d8, and the fate of who gets attacked is in your hands, Brutus.
Okie dokie. Did it work?
Uh,
You
oh,
drag it and
Oh,
drag it and
I
throw it on
drag
the
it.
board.
Oh, okay.
Into the box.
there you go. A 3. So a 1, 2, a 3. Human Warrior 4. Wait. Human Warrior 4. Gets bitten as the Hezru clamps its massive jaws around the entire shoulder of the left side of this veteran warrior. Taking 12 points of damage.
Ow.
Okay, now, I think. So as it lunges towards that human veteran with its teeth, it swipes kind of to either side with its arms spread outward as it slashes across the closest to veterans with one of its claws.
Hey, Drad, I was reading on the one open hand technique, and it says if I want to knock them down, it's a dex throw, and if it's push them away, it's a strength throw. Strength
Yes.
saving throw.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, we might
We
have to
could-
code.
DC 8.
We could have done a
Plus-
dex throw there, maybe.
Yeah, we need to code in a second one that's for strength, one that's for dex.
Okay.
We should do that. Remind me, and I'll kind of work on it. Okay, so it actually lands. Rolls pretty decent on both attacks as it swings wildly and hits each of the veterans. They are all wounded, but they are hardy, and they have seen their fair share of battle wounds and are not yet devastatingly wounded. With the teeth wrapped on his own shoulder, the human warrior tries to slash up at the actual teeth and face to try to push it off, get it unclamped, so to speak, from the actual attack that it just took. Let's see how successful. All with disadvantage. 2 critical misses and a big miss. The stench has staggered it to a degree that it's hard to focus. Its eyes are watering. Is even teetering a bit. Not to mention the fact that he's got a giant, effectively shark bite on his shoulder at the moment. Coming to the aid of his companion, we have not much better results, as it turns out. 3 misses from the poisoned human warrior. Seems to be taking a pretty heavy toll, this stench. Alright, new round, which means new random order.
Do we roll initiative again, or is it?
Once we've done it the first time, it does. Once we go to a new round, it does it for us automatically. So, Gringus is up first. Okay, good. I'm gonna check on something with his thing. So he has infused his spear with magic. It is still just a regular one-handed spear, though. Okay, so he does have to be up close. This magical spear seems to penetrate the hide of the Hezru itself.
Who had the magical spear? Gringus?
Gringus does, yeah.
Okay.
I think he only gets the one attack for now. And then he pulses his turret to give. A lot of people around him, 9 temporary hit points. Think of temporary hit points as kind of like a shield that absorbs that much damage before damage carries over It's not supposed to be on the Hezru, though. I got everything.
Hey,
Wait a second!
I thought you were on our team.
Stupid turret! Bangs it with a wrench. No, sorry, remove that. Okay, it's his turn. And then it is Kazrin's turn again. Did he ever make it back? Is he alive?
Or is here in chat. I don't know if he's speaking again.
Do not believe you connected to the correct thing.
Seems like maybe he had too much whiskey in his coffee. Falling asleep on the battleground.
Does seem a bit sluggish one way or the other. I don't know if we have real life technical problems or in-game technical problems.
I wasn't sure if he was communicating with you through text or something.
He was, but I think he's broken now.
Well, he was through Discord. Just break that fourth wall again.
Just to make sure things happen, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a firebolt for him, and then see what happens there.
Partially resisted fire damage. So strange for a demon.
Alright. Athena, it is your turn.
Moving to hide behind Balasar.
Okay, yeah.
Quickly peeking out the side of him and twang!
Yeah. Shoot my bow from behind Balasar's broad shoulders.
So one thing as far as a mechanic goes, so rogues have the cunning action ability that they get at level 2, which allows them to do things that normally take an action to do as a bonus action. And they can dash, which allows them to go a second movement's worth of distance as a bonus action, which normally would take an action to do. They can disengage, which says that they're going to slip out without getting attacks of opportunity against them by moving away. Or they can take the hide action. I would be fine with you using Balazar as a form of cover to hide behind it if you would like to do that.
Okay. Yes.
This will give her what, sneak attack or something later?
It potentially if she is considered hidden from it, she would get advantage on her attack with her bow when she came out, like to shoot it.
Do I have to do anything for that, or
Yeah, you need to roll me a stealth check.
stealth check? Abilities or skills?
Skills.
Skills.
Stealth.
Balazar is probably just large enough that enough of you is poking through that while they are easily manipulated, still not the dumbest creatures. It still knows you're there. It's not like a child when they put their hands in front of their face and then they think that they're invisible, right? You do not feel as though you're actually hidden enough for it to have effect. So you would roll your attack regularly without advantage. Come on, dice, please, please. No, that's not good.
Wang.
These exceedingly hot, searing winds that still are affecting the landscape seem to be affecting your bow shots as well. And then that would make it Balanzar's turn.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Then I move my Echo next to the Farlight Fiend.
Ooh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So just like you know, I can move that without any cost, up to 30 feet.
That's right. Yep.
Yep. And I will attack it.
So what you see is basically like almost like a mirage image that's like shadowy and shifting, but it looks just like Balazar, but it is transparent and wispy.
No wonder it didn't hit anything. Whoosh.
And then I will use
Warm up the dice a little bit. Things
an
are getting
incarnation
cold.
charge to attack again.
Okay.
Oh, that was better.
There we go. Get a good
Ow.
swing on him.
That was a chunky
Oh, yeah.
one.
Just to break the fourth wall again, the stealth roll, what would it have needed to roll in order to be considered successful?
That depends on the opponent. So it's an opposed kind of thing. So the opponent,
Let me use the rest of my movement.
like you use your stealth, and they might use their perception. Would be the most common contested roll to see. Sometimes there's a thing called passive perception. So if they're not already aware that you're there, they don't get to roll to potentially get higher. They just use their passive perception. But if they are already aware, they get to roll to see if it's, if they can continue to spot
So
you versus your stealth.
you rolled that behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm just using the rest of my movement, Dread.
And my dice just sucked. Okay. Got it.
This time, yes. Unfortunately, a roll of 4 on the die is not often a success. It can happen, but it is not often a success. Well, you have a lot of plus on your stealth, so it had a decent chance, actually.
Right.
But it didn't work out.
Okay.
Okay, so it is the Fiend's turn again. So let's see. I will implore you again, Brutus. This time not a D8 because there is more targets to go for. So go for a D10 this time. A D10. Old number 1. So he's going from corner to corner this time. He's attacking. Human Warrior 17. Clamps down with a bite. Ooh, does some pretty decent damage to him. And then just like before, he swipes out with the claws, like kind of arms spread open as he clamps down on the bite. He just swipes on either side, attacking with the claws. And miss. No, good for you. Good for you. Now, let's see. A couple warriors get to go, and then Brutus is after that. So
I'll take my first action to throw up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're all rolling. Not all of them, but most of them are rolling with disadvantage. So it is in fact you know, not in their favor statistically, but they're also getting pretty poor rolls. So it's that doesn't help.
When I roll at disadvantage, do I have to click that in or?
The poison condition will do that automatically.
Okay. And disadvantage basically means that I roll 2 dice and pick the lowest.
Takes the lower of the two. Although I just actually realized that I wasn't being entirely fair to that because we are heavy flanking the hell out of the giant beast, right? So normally you would be rolling advantage with that, and then the disadvantage cancels it out, so it should have been a normal roll.
I see.
So I haven't been doing that. So I think I'll make sure. Let's from now on. Now that I'm reminded of that, let's do that. So on your turn, which is now up, because of the flanking, you should click the advantage button. The poison will automatically do the disadvantage, and they cancel each other out.
Do I just click advantage or do I click advantage plus 2? I don't know.
Just advantage. Just
okay,
advantage.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then okay, I'm gonna spend another key point.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
To do the flurry of blows again.
All right. Yeah. So your first attack, and then your 2 bonus action attacks.
This is the first attack of missness, and then the 2 bonus attacks.
Just barely missed. And then the second one hits.
And then I'll roll the other one, and then we'll do all the damage at once.
That's fine. Yeah, when it's against one enemy, there might double ones. Ooh, well, that was not meant to be.
All right. So one hit, right?
One did hit. Yes.
Oh, we're starting to do something to him. It says he's heavily wounded now.
Ooh, yes. This blow takes him to the heavily wounded state, so that you recognize that as kind of like the halfway
All right.
point.
So, also, do we get a roll for the? I want to try to knock him prone.
So remind me again. Prone is Dex and push is Strength, right?
Yes, but
what you
in the monk thing, it says. Sorry. Where'd it go? The key save, is this a key power, right? It says 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where he gets 12 from. It's 8 plus the 2 for proficiency plus 2 for your wisdom modifier.
I gotcha.
Okay, 1 second. I can do this. I think I can do this pretty easy. So prone is Dex. Okay, so we'll do that. And then, so you should see under your flurry of blows thing, it should now say save Dex DC 12 instead of Strength.
I see it.
And then I'm going to do another one that's Strength for the push in case you want to do that later.
He still made it.
He. I'll make sure there's nothing weird there. Yeah, he still rolled with advantage against your effect. And so that meant he rolled actually quite well. Although you do notice that brutishly strong, not the most agile. So this is you feel like this is the kind of thing that could be effective.
Okay.
More likely.
I shout out to the group. We're making progress.
Yeah, it is quite rough.
I think I'm done, right? I can pass.
Let's see. Unless you planned on moving, although there's nothing but disadvantages for you to do that, I believe. So yes, I believe that you are likely done. said I was gonna do, but I didn't. There we go. These actually can hit if they're not all at disadvantage. There we go. Get some damage in. Oh, 3 hits. Yes, your rallying cry has emboldened them, and now you can just see they're hacking away, and the hits are landing, and damage is being dealt. Still thick-hided creature, so not as much as one would expect from hacking at him with a well-honed blade, but damage nonetheless. A hit, a critical hit. Wonderful. Okay, that's the end of the round. So let's see what the next one looks like. Oh, the Hezaru goes first.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
I'm gonna roll a d10 and see where we land. Dun dun dun.
Want me to roll it?
No, I did it this time.
Oh, okay, okay.
A little more unknown. Balzar, your Echo has the same AC as you do, is that right?
Same everything. It's 1 HP.
Okay.
Mimicking myself besides vitality.
Its bite is going for the Echo, oddly enough. Let's pour it. So I'm just going to target you to see if it hits. It does.
You should try your hide behind Balazar trick again.
Which means when it hits, it has 1 hit point, so it instantly dies, right?
Yep.
Oof. Goodbye, black circle.
Little black circle gone. And then it'll swipe at Gringus and the other warrior with its claw. For a double hit. Ooh, decent damage numbers too. No good. Wounded, partially absorbed. Yep. Ooh, actually, technically your Echo would have had temporary hit points, so it may not actually be automatic. Let me double check that would have been enough.
Shielded on his Echo.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I think I
That's a big oops.
I did a whoops. Here you go. Be careful when right clicking, because there's a menu that pops up. And for the DM, that menu set, like, one of them is like not delete, which I was trying to do. One of them was exit program, which I clicked, which is not the one. That is not the one. Whoopsie. Well, shucks. Let me open it up. At least everything will be there.
Oh, does it save state at least?
Yeah, it's pretty good about that, actually. It's going to take a second for it to actually load, though. It's extra mad because I'm moving things around. Oh no. I didn't have the patience to let it load all the way before I started moving things, so that's real mad. Okay, it looks like it's loading here. Oh, everyone's also connecting, so it's
I don't know if I have to do anything separate once I'm in again. Think I'm in?
Yep, I see you. You can just open your character thing, and then I have to open the map back up, and just open up your character sheet, and then that should be it as soon as I get.
Oh, there we are.
There we go. Yeah, so as soon as everyone gets kind of reconnected real quick,
Are you back in, Riv?
we'll pick up, and then kind of looking at our timeline and how we're doing so far. I think once we get through this encounter, which seems to be going in your folks' favor, ganging up on this poor Hezru. So many against one, so unfair. But once we get through that, we'll probably end our actual session after this is over. The generally speaking, I like to take a break about halfway or somewhere in the middle. We kind of started a little bit late as we were kind of going through things, so I didn't do that this week. But we'll try to be a little more diligent about that in the future. Hopefully, we get car fixed before next week, and then Crowdor will not be in the ER. That would also be great. Okay, so here we are. Hezru did his thing. He attacked. Oh yes, I was going to roll to see if it was actually enough that it would have
Broken through the shield.
broken through the shield, which it was 17. Oop. Did not mean to still have them targeted.
Sorry, Human Warrior 8. Smack in the face.
No good. Yes, it would have done 17, which was more than the shield was only
More
9,
than enough.
so
9,
it was
right.
more than enough. Now, so you can see it do its usual thing. The Hezru lunged forward, it bit, what ended up being vapor as it tried to bite through this wispy echo, and then it claw attacked the two nearest people, which did seem to actually be effective. And then you can see it stop and then raise both of its arms in the air, roaring loudly. You can see these red streaks start to wrap around almost like a ribbon dance around it. And it starts wrapping around and wrapping around and wrapping around. and swirling, and then you start hearing a little bit that sounds something like chant. It's not coming from the Hezru, but it's like in the air around it, emanating from it. And then let's see. Thena, I would like you to determine the fate of this particular action by rolling what is a percentile die. So to do that, right-click the D10 and then just choose percent. And then it'll pick up the 2 dice and then roll them over the chat. 89, excellent, in your favor. You can see the wisp, this ribbon dance of red energy and this weird echoey chanting sound that's coming from the space nearby, kind of surges, and then the energy feels like it embarks and streaks out. But as it does so, it begins to fizzle and fade. Its attempt to summon many of its demonic allies fails.
That's what I was afraid of. I was like, yeah, it looks like we're winning, but it's suddenly there's 50 of them or whatever. Okay, good. Kill him!
Balazar, it is your turn.
Well, I summon my thingy thing again.
A 30 or lower on the die would have summoned some friends. Sometimes the dice give, sometimes they take away. Today, they
Alright.
gave.
I resummon my thing.
Okay, the Echo within 15 feet, yep. Freebie. Or bonus action to do that, right?
Mhm.
Bonus action. Okay.
Move it. Way.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? And
No, don't worry about it. Now getting close to the Hezru, I move over here.
okay, yes.
Rar.
Oh, you're gonna breathe on it.
Yeah, lightning.
Is that a straight? It's a straight line too. It's
Straight
not
line,
a cone,
yep.
right? Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Let's say the fire breath is a cone, so I was just double
Yes.
checking, but I figured as much. Okay.
Wait, did it roll?
No, it just said you did it. You don't have someone. Oh, you do have it targeted. I don't know how you clicked it. Try to roll it or like. Let me see. Let me look at your ability. Make sure it's right. Oh, there it goes.
I just clicked on it. You succeeded.
Ooh, he has a. It's a Constitution. Oh, lightning is Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is one giant bulbous mass. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He, although he dodges out of the way a little, or I guess in this case, this is a Constitution save. He more just kind of, his hide just kind of absorbs it to some degree, which you felt like it could have hit him in some vital fleshy areas. I just didn't. But the otherwise, the damage seems to have full effect. If you had had a striking blow, perhaps you would have actually been able to do
And then
damage at full
move
effect.
my here. Right, understand.
Okay, and that was your turn.
And then I will take an additional attack action.
Why an extra one?
Another
Why an
Unleash
extra one?
Incarnation. Yep.
Oh, an incarnation. Yeah, okay. That's kind of like key points.
Yep.
Very similar.
I do have advantage, right? Because I didn't roll advantage last time. Is it
Your
just-
echo has advantage. Yes.
Yep.
The hide
He's like,
seems
didn't I
to-
just eat you already? Stupid
It's like,
wispy
you
thing.
see that it is a bit puzzled by the goings on, but enraged, it doesn't care what it knows or doesn't know. It is here to kill.
Wah wah. Essentially, I'm
Ooh,
a ranged
Kazran,
fighter.
okay. Let's see if I can pop him over.
I can stand over here.
He's got spells. Let's do something with him. And then Athena, you'll be up next.
Mhm.
He's targeted the dude. Then you can see Kazran kind of in the back, and he begins doing some incantations of arcane as he moves his hands in very rhythmic gestures. And then, kind of at the at his saying, there's a little bit of a crescendo to his words. They have some bite to them, and then out of his fingertips, several small little darts of force, ping, 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 fling, fly, 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 and are directed to the Hezra.
Ping, 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 ping.
The Hezru is looking very dire in its wounds. Those last darts, it's been taking quite a bit of slash over and over. It's been mostly shrugging off. You can see now that like these little darts of force blasted holes in the hide, and like almost like gunshot wounds, left little holes that pierce through in many places. It is haggard and sluggish in its movements. Nina, it is your turn.
I hide behind Balasar again since it's distracted and hurting, not paying attention to me anymore.
Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth roll. It is also a bit,
Sorry.
you might even say, distracted in the fact that it is utterly and completely surrounded.
That was a good roll.
That is a decent one. Yes. I'm not even going to roll because he can't possibly beat that. So, you are, for all intents and purposes, hidden.
Okay. Now what do I do?
So now you step out and, or you know, like, or sort of, and then take your attack against him with advantage.
So you click the advantage button, ADV.
And then roll the short bow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then roll the short bow. Aha! You have hit
that's-
with advantage. Not to mention you have a million allies in immediate range of it. So you proc your sneak attack, so you can hit your little doobly doo for the effect for sneak attack to add that effect.
How do I do that?
Hit the little running man. It's like a little running man looking. The stick figure icon, or the guy, not the. What is it actually? Silly icon for it. So on sneak attack, there's the magnify. You probably not seen it because you have to hit the magnifying glass
On the
to
right.
do all the drop down to see what the ability, like what the actual effects and abilities
Okay.
are. Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Now roll your short bow damage.
Ooh,
Ooh, maximum
that is
damage.
disgusting.
So, as is customary, particularly popularized by a lot of the people that put on live D&D sessions, you have laid the killing blow upon this enemy. Tell me, how do you want to do this?
This is your grand Robin Hood moment from Beacon out. Go ahead.
I mean, it would be peeking out underneath Balasar's arm to shoot it right through the eyeballs and get
Its
a
eyes are slightly
piercing.
on either side of its head, as frogs are, and as it last lunged kind of in the opposite direction to you. So your arrow flies through the air and hits it in through one side of the head through one eye, and then out the other side through the other eye.
Oh.
As it was beginning a roar, and you could see maybe some of that more ribbon mystical bit starting to swarm around it yet, although it had not yet coalesced. and as it gives off the roar, it just stops mid, mid utterance, falling forward as those red ribbons dissipate into nothingness as it falls on the ground, dead.
Blech.
All right, so we have felled our we have survived our first combat, felled to be quite honest, a pretty powerful foe. Hezru are not low-level creatures to be cutting our teeth on, but with all of us together, we managed to survive. The veteran warriors at the sight of this beast falling, raise their arms and salute and give out their cry and say, we thank you, travelers, for your help. Without it, it is possible that one of us would not see tomorrow.
Tell them I'm glad we could, that we made it in the time. We heard your cry, or we heard the battle from afar.
All in
Sorry.
a day's work.
Oh my god, we fell the beast.
More than just our thanks. Jobs done is a job's reward earned. We will be sure to give commendation to the task hand, Baron Thalis. Let me put this in chat. Although I believe it's actually pronounced Thalis, but I'm not sure. It's spelled a little weird for that to be the case. Who is basically a patrol commander of a lot of these patrols, who is stationed in Bazazan. So they will report your assistance and your capability to the task hand, should that provide any future use to you. Also, as a reward, they have their own little slush fund that they can spend for expenditures and other official things. And as they conscripted you to duty, they will award you 50 gold pieces for your efforts.
I'm assuming that we split that, or it's not each, or what?
It would be 10 each.
Yeah, so what I usually do, and which is probably true for if it was a real life group of whatever, is they go, here you go, here's your thing, you do whatever you do with it, so however you like to split it up. But let me see. In the party sheet, I hope so. This is something I was curious to see what you see. So right next to combat tracker is the party sheet.
Mm-hmm.
See it there.
Do you see a tab for inventory?
Yes.
Okay. Then
I see we have 1 gold piece in the inventory. Now we have 51.
there we go. So they had 1 gold left over that they hadn't split. And if you would like to split it equally, I can press the button and do that automatically. Or if you want to keep a party fund
Of
separate
course.
or whatever, that's
He says split it equally. Okay, do it.
make sure everyone's in the party. Did I do that right? Brutus is not in the party, so let me do that.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Brutus is in the party. There we go. Final Fantasy VII fanfare abound. We have completed that, and so I think this is a perfectly reasonable opportunity to take to kind of end the session here. Let's say that we just kind of pick up for next time, that you managed to continue on for the rest of the day, and we can have, when we have our next session, we can say if there's anything I wanted to say about anything or whatever. We'll start with that next time. But I will say that mechanically speaking, we traveled the rest of the day. We had our full long rest, well rested. We get all our abilities back, and we'll start on the start of the third day, on the next session.
Do I need to click off key myself, or do you click a button and it goes back?
I will click a button for you.
Okay.
I took no damage. Dude.
There we go. And then you should be able to see that the key is all fixed now, hopefully, after doing that.
Yeah, it is. And did the poison have any lasting effect outside?
It did not. And so it's like the effect is similar to like smelling salts, what they use to revive those that are knocked unconscious or whatever. It is very pungent and very effective in the short term, and you feel malaligned for a 30 minutes or so, and then that it starts to wear off and you have no lingering effects.
Excellent. Do I need to do anything to save anything in the system, or is it all good?
It's all good. Yeah, it's a pretty real-time database storage, so all the data files are on my end, and it syncs them constantly. So
awesome.
I think it's
that was fun. Thanks for inviting us.
You're quite welcome. I hope you did enjoy it, and we had a little